right there was a track called I Owe You Nothing from the upcoming Cold Chamber record. And speak of the Devildriver, our very special guest tonight is a man who provided vocals for that song, a dude I've been a fan of since I heard Loco for the first time in my parents' garage. About a year and a half ago, he released one of my favorite metal albums in the last decade, Winter Kills with Devildriver. The dude's what you call a lifer when it comes to metal. On the road right now in support of the new Cold Chamber record, Rivals. We're so honored to have with us on the line Mr. Dez Fafara. How the hell are you, Dez?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me, man. I'm in Niagra Falls right now. I'm getting ready to do a killer show tonight, so good to talk to you.
Right, man. You guys are on the road. Appreciate you so much taking the time out to talk with us. I won't keep you too long on the line, but, you know, the new record comes out May 19th on Napalm Records, and just generally, what song's getting the best crowd response? I've only heard a couple so far, and what song on the album is the most personal for you?
Well, I'll tell you, there's a song on the record, it's the second one, called Bad Blood. It's extremely personal, but this record is extremely personal to me, man. I mean, every time I sit down with pen and paper and write a lyric, I try to get down on what is personal. We've been playing IOU and the title track Rivals live, going over really well. And now, you know, you're an artist, you live in a bubble once you do a record, but we've been giving out a secure link to the whole record. And it's been just like, it's been overwhelming. And I'm so appreciative of it, but it's been overwhelming, the response, the positive response to the record.
Great.
I mean, even the most cynical of people and cats that I've known forever will call me or email me and go, man, I can't get this thing out of my player. So it seems like we struck a nerve, you know. And I just, when it comes to Cold Chamber, don't think you're going to get some 90s throwback record whatsoever. We definitely moved forward with our sound, with where I've been coming from for years and where those guys were writing from. But we definitely moved forward with the sound, and I think that people are really going to dig this record, man. We put our heart into it.
Yeah, from what I've heard, it's killer, man. I've been watching the webisodes on the internet, you guys in the studio and everything, and like I said, the first two tracks are killer. We just played I Owe You Nothing. You think new metal is like a dirty word at this point, like kind of like hair metal? Do you think it's condescending?
No, I mean, you know, look, I think hair metal was easy. I think new metal was different. I think what's beautiful about new metal is it's different, and you got so many different influences. And
right.
If you look at the biggest bands on the planet right now, I mean, Slipknot, arguably
the biggest band in metal.
Yeah, arguably right up there with Metallica, about as new metal as you get. Korn, new metal as you get, Deftones, System of a Down. I mean, I could go on endlessly with our peers that have never gone away, that have still stuck to that same formula. So no, do I think new metal was an ugly word? No. And I think why there's this generation now of not only 15 to 17-year-olds, but even the cat that's 20 and 30, why they go back to that music and listen to it, or why they would even want to listen to a new Cold Chamber record, is they know it's going to be something different. And that's what was beautiful about that time era, that music, is there were so many different influences to that music. You know, Cold Chamber had this metal influence along with this like Bauhaus and goth kind of thing with us. Then you had, you know, then you've got Korn, where they've got like a rap influence with their thing.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's the beautiful part of that word. And I think what you're going to see, and especially in the future, and I've seen it on the road now, especially with the meet and greets and the younger fans coming to the shows, is that they're searching out this music that's different, because what's happening now in and around the music scene, the heavy music scene, is truly, and I have my ear to the ground, I hear every new band that comes up from demos to new releases. I think a lot of the stuff is sounding awfully the same. Yeah. And definitely. That's really sad. And what happens is you start getting a new generation of music. It starts to degenerate within its own scene because everybody sounds the same. And you're not going to get that with any of the so-called new metal bands or Cold Chamber whatsoever. You're going to get something, you know, totally separate from other music. And after all, isn't that what music is all about? It's supposed to be special and different.
Yeah, and you know what? It's just good songs. I think people just didn't know what to call the music at the time, so they just slapped this general label.
Yeah, why they called it new metal is because it damn well was.
It was new, right? Exactly.
Yeah, when we came out of Hollywood, man, the hair metal band totally killed the scene. The Roxy, the Whiskey, nobody was drawing anybody, you know. And here comes Cold Chamber, here comes the Deftones selling out shows. Roxy, the Whiskey.
Yeah.
Here comes Korn from Huntington Beach, busting people up from Orange County to make sure their shows were happening. And here you've got this new scene, new metal, because it was heavy shit.
Yep.
So I think the term new metal is almost like pretty badass. I mean, because you're doing something new within a genre that existed forever, and it's heavy as hell, but it sounds newer and newer influence. So
yeah, it's pretty.
Definitely not a dirty word.
You guys were a part of a really cool wave of bands and great time in the music industry, I think. So you're in Niagara Falls tonight. You're on the road with Filter, American Head Charge. You guys are about a week and a half into the tour, and you know, as awesome as it is to get on stage and play your own songs to a crowd, we both know it's a job, all right? And some days you don't want to go to work for whatever reason. How do you get through those shows when getting on stage isn't the place you want to be right there, but you want to come through for your audience? Is there like a...
Let me say it's always, first of all, a place I want to be.
Yeah.
Like, I can be home, and I'll be fit because I'm not on the road.
Yeah.
Oh,
but there...
And just to say, like, I mean, the whole tour, every bus on this tour has been sick for about 5 days. I've been incredible. I mean, last 2 nights I've gone on stage with 102-degree fever.
Holy crap.
I never cancel, and I always go full out. If I passed out or die up there, then that's the way it's going to go.
Yeah.
I think you got to be in love. You got to be in love with what you do. If you're in love with what you do, it's not a job.
True. You're a lifer, dude. I know it, but I'm just thinking more like mentally tough. Like maybe has there ever been like a show that like right stands out in the back of your mind where maybe you got some horrible news earlier that day, or it's just distracting, or you just kind of is it easier to get on stage and just perform and kind of block that out, or
it's very cathartic. You know, I can relate this back to about 4 or 5 days ago. I do all the business for both my bands, and I was on a phone call and doing business late night. I probably should have been. You know, it was 8 or 8:30 at night. I knew I had a stage set time an hour and a half later, and I was doing some pretty heavy business with some people. And you know, you can't let it affect you. So, you know, what you do is you crack a glass of wine and you know, put on Pantera in the back lounge or whatever you're listening to.
Yeah.
And you're like, boom, give me the microphone. Because once the microphone's in your hand and you see people looking at you, it doesn't matter if it's 50 or 50,000, everything leaves your body.
Right.
Immediately, you know, you're immediately transformed, and hopefully that translates to the crowd.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, and there's those obvious times. I mean, look, you know, I've been married for 8 years. I've got 3 kids. And, you know, government, a great date, and you know, animals I missed, and this and that. And so, yeah, of course, you miss your family. But
right.
Like I said, if you love it, it's not a job, man. You know, and I love what I do. I say it to my wife all the time. As soon as I fall out of love with it, I'll quit.
Well, that's a beautiful thing, man. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So I won't keep you too much longer. Just got a couple more questions for you. Our topic on the show tonight, I'm in
no rush, bro, and I appreciate the support.
Oh, awesome, man. Well, our top 3 tonight. Every week we do a top 3, right? Actually, last week we did our top 3 new metal bands. Tonight we're doing our top 3 favorite metal album covers of all time. Just off the top of your head, if you would like to contribute to the conversation, what are some of your like just album covers that stick in your mind?
AC/DC Back in Black.
Yeah.
Metallica Ride the Lightning, and Pantera Reinventing the Steel.
Reinventing the Steel, yeah.
That's my favorite record. I got in an argument, not an argument, but there's like, you know, 7 musicians in my back lounge last night, and everyone was going back and forth what their favorite record was from that band, and I was like, this record smokes everything.
Yeah.
So I stand by that, you know. And I knew the guy jumped into the fire, so.
Oh, did you? He was naked in that, right?
Yeah, he was an assistant for the band. Dustin, he was an assistant for the band for a long time, and I knew him for a long time. So.
Oh, all right.
And there's just something about that record that brings positive memories to me too.
Did you tour with those guys on that album cycle?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, we Cold Chamber toured with Pantera around the world several times.
Oh man.
Including Ozfest and a Black Sabbath tour in stadiums around the world with Pantera. And
wow.
I'm fortunate enough to be, you know, best friends, brothers with Philip. I mean, we still talk weekly. So.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Good stuff. You mentioned in one interview that you start your day with a cup of coffee and maybe a little herb.
Yep.
So I don't know. I couldn't start my day that way because then I'd have nothing to look forward to as far as the herb
I'll
goes.
tell you what, man. I get up and I have some oolong tea and some herb. But I suffer from ADHD, man. Like, so
Yeah.
I'm a multitasker on many different levels. And if I wake up and I don't try to calm myself down right, I'll be pacing back and forth. You know?
Yeah.
Right now, as we're talking, I'm wearing a hole in the bus.
All right. Well, that's. Do you see Chuck Billy from Testament? He's got a new line of vape pens.
No, but I just did an interview with Dom from Metal Hammer, and he just said that to me. And he said, how's the vape pen? Well, I'm an old school joint smoking hippie.
Yeah. Well, so,
I love those clear papers, and I enjoyed the spiritualistic, shamanistic part of smoking a joint with people.
yeah.
Other than sitting there with a vape pen by myself. But I hope he does well with it. And I mean,
Yeah, it's
you know,
pretty.
you're not going to find a nicer guy than Chuck and his wife. I mean, he's like probably one of the nicest guys I've ever known, and he's always been. From the day I met him in Cold Chamber early on, he's always been one of my favorite people to see on tour. Always.
He seems
I
like.
run into him in the weirdest places, man. Like,
Yeah.
when I was in Amsterdam, I was walking through this huge area where there was like thousands of people on tables just kicking back outside in the summertime. Even at a show, it was like that. It was like in the middle of Amsterdam, and Chuck stood up out of nowhere and was like, "Dez!" I couldn't believe it. So I always managed to catch that cat on tour, man. You know, he's a great guy.
That's funny. He's a big dude. You can't miss him either. But
Oh, dude, he's huge.
back to the. Wouldn't a vape pen though be easier on the throat at this time? I mean, you're no spring chicken, and you know you got to maintain your instrument. Would it be? Do you ever kind of get like a sore throat from too many J's to the brain, or?
No, man, no. You know what? I find that bongs and vape pens, they actually screw my throat up, man. They messed it up.
Oh yeah. Wow.
I moved on to those biodegradable clear papers years ago, and that's how I go about things. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I hope that the whole United States gets square with it, legalizes like Denver, because now they're putting art back in schools and music back in schools and all these extracurricular activities back in their schools that are being taken out everywhere. And I've got two or three brothers and sisters that are teachers, and I'm watching them like come out of their own pockets to buy pencils, pens for kids. It's horrible. So I'm hoping everybody gets with it, legalizes this, and starts realizing that tobacco and alcohol are way more danger than cannabis.
Right. People are coming around, I think.
Then you go to the medical aspect of it. You know, the kid that's 8 years old and been having 1,000 seizures a day. You know, and the parents move him to Denver so it's legal, and they give him tinctures under his tongue, and he doesn't have seizures anymore.
Yeah.
So that's just one aspect of this miracle plant that's been here for centuries, and only outlawed for just propaganda reasons.
Right.
I hope everybody comes around and sees the beauty of it, because it truly is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, we still got some steps to take too, because even though it's legal in some states, but people can still lose their jobs over it. They're suspending guys in the NFL for tested positive for it. It's like kind of like this weird limbo that we're in right now. They just need to.
Unbelievable, but the same people that are taking those dudes out of their job will say, "Hey, your back hurts. We're going to prescribe you Vicodin."
Right.
We're gonna here, take 20 pills.
The most addictive things in the world, opiates.
Yeah. He's like, dude, I had an NFL game. I'm hurting.
Yeah.
And a joint heals it, but you want me to take 20 pills? I don't.
Right. Yeah, and you can't smoke herb, but I'll give you these 2 scripts on the down low. That's horrible.
Yeah, that's right. And it's a pharmaceutical state, man.
Yeah.
This whole country, it's billions and billions and billions of dollars made on harmful drugs that are killing you, and you just only got to watch commercials. I don't watch a lot of TV, but anytime I do, a commercial always comes on. Like, oh, you have a sore throat? Well, take this.
Yeah.
Beware. And then after that, don't worry, you won't have a sore throat, but beware of bleeding of the eye.
Yeah.
And losing your hearing, or may blind your vision.
Yeah.
What do you see? So people need to look into holistic medicine. I realize, first of all, you said it best. I'm not a spring chicken, and I'm out here doing show after show after show. So I realize, get sleep, eat healthy. I do yoga. I smoke herb. I try to eat holistically as I can, even on the road, and just take care of yourself and beware of all these medical companies that are willing you to write scripts.
Yeah.
It's man-made, man. Go into whatever you believe, God, the plural, whatever made this planet, but you need to go in and you need to find out what can cure you that's organic and that's not man-made.
That's a good point, man. Good point. When's the last time you had a nightmare? What was it about?
Last night.
Yeah.
It's only because I took
What happened?
I took NyQuil because I had to stop sneezing all night and coughing, but
yeah.
So
was it trippy?
There goes the dichotomy of that conversation right there.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? But and we crossed the border, so you can't cross the border with medical. So
really, I didn't know that.
And it wasn't really a nightmare. It just took me back in time. I was in Star Wars pajamas running through the streets of L.A. where I used to live with a dog chased me, and it was crazy. So I don't know. I don't even try to look into that.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes, yeah, you don't even want to know about some of my nightmares. It's just, but yeah, isn't it weird how you're just transported back to your childhood? Like I'll be in my grammar school, I don't know, math classroom with half of my college dorm room in the back. And
now are you going back in time in your mind, or are you jumping forward, or are you out of space and time? We don't know where we're at when we're dreaming.
Right.
Now we don't know where our mind is floating, and there's I believe in parallel dimensions and everything else. So you just don't know where that shit comes from. Sometimes I do wake up in the morning and I try to look into it. The weirdest thing is when you have a dream about something or somebody, and you wake up and they call you, or they call you and go, "Hey, you know, how about this?" And you're like, "Wait a minute," and I just thought about that last night. So those kind of things go through the ether as well.
That's trippy, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I always wish there was a dream recorder, because some of my dreams I'd like to watch over, especially the ones where I'm doing chicks that aren't my wife. Those are great. Although recently my wife has been in my dreams, cutting off my dream pussy. It's crazy, dude.
That means you're truly in love, man.
I guess, but I'm about to hook up with this hot broad, and then all of a sudden in the back of my head, be like, "Nah, I can't do this. I'm married." And I'm like, "Wait, why am I saying that? I'm in a dream. This is the I can do whatever I want."
Saying that, yeah, you're saying that because monogamy is a good thing, because love is a good thing, because righteousness and loyalty are a good thing.
No doubt.
It's your mind putting yourself right, and maybe your mind doesn't know you're asleep. Your mind thinks you're actually outside getting ready to go do that.
Right.
Like saying to you, "Hey, bro, remember the one that makes you dinner and
exactly. I would feel
your head. When you got a fever, put the cold towel on your neck. You remember the one that helps you pay your bills when you're too sick to do it, or you know what I mean?"
Oh, definitely. I feel completely that way, but I just wish I could separate the dream world from that world, because there's so much pussy in that dream world to be had.
I'll be honest. There's shamans around the world that will tell you everything you're living right now is a dream world.
Yeah, wow.
Even us talking right now is just not real.
Well,
and who knows?
This is a small radio show, so if a tree falls in the woods and no one listens to the radio show, did this interview even happen? But hey, Dez, I don't want to keep you any longer. I appreciate you talking to me so much. Everybody check out the new Cold Chamber album, Rivals. It drops on May 19th. And these guys are on the road right now with Filter and American Head Charge. It's a great tour package. And, man, Dez, thanks so much again. I appreciate it. And best of luck with the rest of the tour and everything else.
Thanks, man. Really appreciate it. Also, you didn't mention, we got Comedy Christ out here with us, too. And they're a great band, so I'm just going to mention them.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I forgot them. Comedy Christ are on the bill as well. It's great.
They're cool as hell. They're great guys, so we're glad to have them. But come out, check it out, man. The show's been amazing. The meet and greets every day have been killer. We brought out a lot of killer production. We play a lot of songs, like 15 tracks, which you can't believe we play so many tunes. So, yeah, come on out, check it out, have a good time.
Awesome. Dez, thanks so much. Right now we're going to play an old Cold Chamber track. This one's called Bradley. That's your real name, right? Bradley?
It is. It is.
Does anybody call you that still?
My mom when she's pissed.
All right, well, this is Bradley from Cold Chamber. Dez Fafara, everybody. Take care.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.